to finish the school shooting. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do the female who shot up a school to impress black people. That's crazy. Know what I mean? But anyways, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, man, Jay Willie Silly, man, aka Mr. Take It Easy before you end up like Beezy, man. Make sure y'all follow my Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Everything you know about your boy Jay. It's in the description down below. But we got the female. What the frick is wrong with your title? The female who shot up a school to impress black women. You know what I'm saying? The female who freaking shot up a school to impress black women. Are we serious? You shoot up that's the last thing we're going to be impressed about. I'm just going to tell you this right now. The last thing we're going to be impressed about is shooting up a school, bro. You know what I mean? Like I said, America try to paint this thing on black people like we're so violent, bro. We're not, bro. I'm trying to tell you this right now. You got some black people that's violent. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you, act like some black people ain't violent. You got super thugs everywhere. But you got some white people that's violent. You got some Chinese people that's violent. Why are you trying to impress us by shooting up a school? Why are you trying to impress black women by shooting up a school, G? I've never heard of a black woman shooting up a school a day in my life. I heard about a lot of white mother ever shooting up day in schools. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know, what is with y'all? Look. What is with y'all shooting up schools? I just need some of my Caucasians to really, not saying you know what I mean? Oh, look at him. He started, you feel me? Not saying you. I just really want to know, what is with Caucasians shooting up schools, bro? What is with y'all? What is with y'all when it comes to public shooting? Black people blow in the streets. Y'all motherfuckers go innocent. You know what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers just buck wild. You know what I mean? We talking about grocery stores, schools. What's with y'all motherfuckers shooting up schools, bro? I just need to know. Like, why y'all just want, like, you shouldn't shoot up anything, period. But what's with y'all just killing innocent motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? Like,
After a person committed a large-scale attack who didn't fit the background of the stereotypical suspects, the media and the internet went into a frenzy. While many condemned the attack, many others came to show sympathy for the criminal after feeling that they were on the same side of politics.
Wait, hold on, you
this
a booty
buster?
buster?
Of the extremely controversial Nashville attack.
It's a booty buster. Are you a booty buster or a coochie bumper? Which one are you? Hey, attention is a heck of a drug.
It's a complicated one, and it involves a lot of sensitive topics related to gender that are really hard to cover without making everybody angry, and I do acknowledge that I'm still probably going to make people angry no matter how I cover it. Long story short, the subject of today's video was pretty unsure about their own gender identity, and many people—
Hey, look, I don't care about gender identity. You're a male and you're a female. Get mad if you want to. You're delusional. I told you. I'm gonna say it again. I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. See, he's worried about making y'all mad. Mother, if I don't give a dang about you getting mad. Mother effer, you was a male. Stop dressing up like a woman. Mother effer, you a male. Stop it. Stop. You know what I'm saying? You're a woman. Stop trying to talk like this. Come on. Why you making your voice like that? I don't give a F about being canceled. You know what I'm saying? I told you. See, this mother effer, I know I make positive. I don't look at comment sections. I don't give a dang what y'all saying to me on YouTube. If you want to interact with me, like I said, come on Twitch and then we can go back. But bro, I don't give a dang about a YouTube job. One thing I'm gonna do is speak the truth. You got a penis, you got a coochie. All right? Stop it. Stop. All the little multiple genders y'all making up. Bro, you ain't no you're a man and you're a woman. That's what the freak you is. Oh my God. Shaking your hips like you a dang freaking woman. That junk is freaking crazy. You know that demon that's on you like that? No, shaking your dang hips, man. What are you doing?
We continue to refer to them by different names back and forth.
Did you miss me?
They even come to flip-flop on which name they're using themselves.
Look, you're a man, you're a woman.
I'm just going to refer to them as they throughout this video.
Oh, look at him. There you go, y'all. They. Here you go. Look, he care about what people they. You think I'm gonna really call you a they? What's going on, man? I'm not a man. Man, shut up. Do not call me a man again. See, a full-grown man think I'm gonna say a woman? You must be out your dang mind. What's going on, bro? You know what I mean? Hey, bro, don't come around me trying to act like me. I'm gonna keep it real. If any woman that's watching this, I speak against that lifestyle. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time. I say it. I am against it. You know what I mean? Don't come around me trying to act like you one of the bros. What's going on, pretty lady? What's going on? I'm gonna make you feel like a woman. You come around me now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about them. Shake your little hand like a little woman. What's going on, lady? What's going on, pretty lady? Good?
used their last name just to make things more easily digestible in a narrative.
You ain't come around me acting like you one of the bros, shawty.
Let's get started at the beginning.
You ain't my bro. You bleed every month. Got nipples.
The subject of today's video was born as Audrey Elizabeth Hale on March 24th, 1995. With their two parents and an older brother, they would come to live out their whole life in the Nashville area. Very early on, before even starting school, Hale began to experience struggles with mental health problems. According to their own writings, this began all the way back in the toddler stage. They were very sensitive to loud noises and were scared by large groups of other kids or adults or even animals. Hale's mother took note of this and decided to get them evaluated in 2001 when they were about 6 years old. It was found that Hale did have some developmental delays, had trouble asserting themselves in social situations, had fairly bad anxiety, and problems processing emotions. While Hale's mother worried that they likely had autism, nothing was found to suggest that that was the case. Still though, their mother held them back from kindergarten for a year to give them a little more time to mature. Eventually, Hale did progress through school, coming to attend the Covenant School throughout most of their elementary years. Hale would later describe these years as the happiest period of their life. They said that they felt both safe and accepted at Covenant, making friends fairly easily. Their home life was pretty happy as well, having no issues with their parents to speak of. They grew skilled in art, with even their teacher remarking at how talented they were at such a young age. All in all, Hale had a great time.
This is what I was talking about, the rare species where you got the families that got some mom and dads that do their job, that become that. You got some dads that was the best dad they can be. You got some moms that was the best moms they could be, and they child still turned out to be a super thug. You know what I'm saying? So I say it's a very rare occasion, but it's an occasion though. You feel what I'm saying?
For those few years, but it would all have to come to an end eventually. Hale came to attend the Isaiah T. Cresswell Middle Magnet School for the Arts next, or just Cresswell for short. It was a bit of a culture
public
shock,
school,
given that Covenant had mainly consisted of students coming from white, middle-class backgrounds, while Cresswell mainly had students from minority groups with parents who were more working class. Shortly after starting school, Hale began to get bullied for being white, often being called a rich white girl and humiliated by the other students.
Dang, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like that's another thing that some black people do, you know what I'm saying, is even I ain't gonna say I experience it, you know what I'm saying, because I don't experience it. But even, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to some black people, I don't know what it is when it comes to black people. Shout out, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Whatever name is Hale, they're just like that when it comes to higher class black. You gotta realize higher class black people, bro, and lower class black people, they don't get along. Them mother effers jealous, bro. That's really what it is. They some jealous mother effers, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is when it comes to lower. I don't know what it is when it comes to the black people that's in the projects in the hood. They just jealous, bro. You know what I'm saying? Them white folks that's in trailer parks, them white folks don't be jealous of, you know, do they be jealous of they higher classes? You know, they don't be jealous of us. It's just something about them black people that's in the hood and projects, man. I don't know what's with them mother effers. Them mother effers be jealous, bro. They make fun of us for having a good life. You know what I'm saying? They make fun of us for having a good life. Now, if I was to say something about you eating freaking grilled cheese every day, I'd be wrong with her. You know what I'm saying? If I say something about you eating cereal with water, I'd be wrong, right? You know what I'm saying? I'd be wrong, right? You know what I'm saying? Frying bologna sandwiches with cheese. You know what I'm saying? I'd be wrong. Not having no type of hot water in it because mama was a freaking hoe. You know what I mean? Couldn't close her legs. Mama was dead on the back. Couldn't close her dang legs. You know what I mean? She couldn't even take care of herself and shit. Yeah, she brought you in the world. Oh, shoot. Let me go and just shut up right quick. I'm probably offend somebody. But I'm going to keep on offending you. Your mama could not freaking close her dang legs. Your mama was living on Section 8. Your mama was living on food stamps. But yeah, she was clapping them cheeks. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And she brought your little stink butt in the world. Oh my goodness, good God almighty dog. You know what I mean? She was eating grilled cheese, now you eating grilled cheese. What you finna do? Do the same thing mama did? Okay, mama did it, so I'ma do it too. Mama was a hoe, so I'ma be a hoe too. On Section 8 on food stamps, life looking crazy right now. But I gotta bust these cheeks open. I gotta bust them open. I gotta slay my meat.
They went from having a lot of
having multiple baby mamas,
complete social outcast,
built like a sack of lawn.
Things did take a turn for the better when Hale started playing for the basketball team. Despite being the only white player on the team and about a year behind all of the others, their teammates accepted them very easily and welcomed them with open arms. Hale felt that they had truly found some real friends within this group, even best friends. To their confusion, they also began to feel romantic feelings toward several of them. Hale grew completely obsessed with these teammates, coming to think about them daily for the
Dang, she around all the sisters? Dang. She around all the sisters. Look, he say tweaking. You know what I'm saying? Bro said tweaking. I'm talking about him. How tweaking? I'm tweaking, gang. I'm just speaking real. I'm trying to break the generational curse. So he eating them bologna sandwiches. He eating that cereal with water. So that lifestyle I just said, he living it right now. You feel me? He living it right. It ain't nothing funny with it. Just a generational. It's not your fault, brother, that your mama was a hoe. You know what I'm saying? That your mama could not close her legs. You know what I mean? And just stay celibate. You had to inherit your mama's struggles, man. I'm not making fun of you, man. I'm just being real about the situation.
Entire life.
Did you miss me?
Between 7th and 8th grade, Hale came to the realization that most of their teammates would be graduating and going their separate ways, leaving Hale behind. Toward the end of the summer, they decided to write an entire 40-page story about the basketball team and their feelings around it. This became a story called After the Comets, with the Lady Comets being the name of the basketball team. While Hale was obsessed with all of the girls, they took a particular interest in a few of them. One of them was a girl named Sydney, and the other was named Paige. However, Hale had confusing feelings toward mostly all of them. Hale admitted to getting, quote, addicted to the depression and stress at the time, saying, "I've been trapped in probably one of the most longest lonely summers of my entire freaking life." This would begin a lifelong obsession with the girls from the team. Hale wrote, "I was in a terrible mind state of constant negativity and racing thoughts, drowned in doubts with losing the team and losing a lot of people, my teammates along with friends too. Barely got rest. Mind racing like the Indy 500 while turning to my left bedside, where my team picture was hanging perfectly on my wall. Just looking at it for a long period of time, staring into the eyes of my long-lost teammates. I would cry and cry for days just a few weeks after their last day at IT, because I knew they were long gone. I thought I'd never see them again. I would cry as my pillow was damp every time I woke up to a new day." Hale then detailed that they were having difficulty remembering anything that happened that summer as a whole due to the obsessive thoughts of the basketball girls. They spent entire days staring at their yearbook photos, losing track of how many times they had stared at them when the count got into the thousands. Hale then continued to write about the team's failed aspirations, never getting to win the city championship. Hale remembered as one of their teammates, the girl named Sydney, cried on the sidelines as the final buzzer rang out. They wished that they could have seen Sydney's face if they had won instead. Of all of the girls, Sydney took up a good portion of Hale's mind that summer. However, Hale took solace in believing that this was God's plan and that there was meaning to the loss. The remainder of this story was
she don't sound like a bad girl
for their losses and gushing about how incredible each girl on the
team. Look, I told y'all, it never starts off like that. Nobody never starts off, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't just become a school shooter just to be a school shooter. Thoughts has been brewing. You know what I'm saying? The thoughts has been in her head these are thoughts that been happening. So that's why I said when y'all see somebody doing some violent acts, y'all see somebody doing something bad, that's a thought that they've been heeding on. But it's something that they've been dealing with, but yet now it's just coming into reality. It's something that we just now seeing, but that mother effer been heeding on that thought for years and years now. You know what I'm saying? He just couldn't take it no more. So now, yeah, I got to get this out of my brain. I got to actually do it now.
Many pages were also spent ranting about the gym.
Oh, she was heeding about that thought.
While Hale details a bit of bullying in this story, mainly being yelled at by teachers or being made fun of for being white, they do actually admit that a lot of their...
But that'll be racist, though. That'll be racist, though. You know what I mean? If they was to do with us, though. You know what I'm saying? You see the hypocrisy when it come to... You don't have no idea how a slave feel like. You know what I'm saying? See, one thing about a lot of y'all, bro, and that's one thing I'm going to just keep it real. One thing I don't like about a lot of y'all, bro, you use that victim card too much. Try to be like a victim with everything. You're always trying to blame a white man for your mistakes. White man did this, white man did this. But you got homeless white people all the time. I see homeless people around homeless white people all the time, bro. I see them all the time. They don't be complaining. I see white people that struggle, that just like y'all. I don't know why black people think they're the only ones that struggle in this world. It's a delusion that y'all be having. That victim mindset. Break out of that, bro. That's just pathetic. Just sad, bro. Who that white man you blaming? They can blame the white man too. They don't complain. Yeah, y'all complain, acting like you don't know what slavery feel like. You don't know what it feel like to go drink from a black water fountain to white water fountain. You don't know what that junk feel like, what? Oppressed. When you ever felt oppressed? Mother, if you don't know what oppressed feel like. Mother, ever talking about what his ancestors went through. Mother, if you don't get the freak out my face. Oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Oppressed. Get the freak out my dang face. How they feel? They probably feel oppressed too. But let this be a black girl though. Let this be a black girl. I'm just real, gang. I ain't with that hypocrite junk. Let this be a black girl though. Oh my God, they're racist. You know what I'm saying? They're racist. Oh man. Man, that whole school would have been shut down. See, one thing I realize about black people, they do things to white people, but when white people do it to them, they can't take it. It's the hypocrites. You know anybody can be racist, right? You being mean to a white woman, white girl for what? She ain't do nothing. She's just white. What you being mean to her for? You making fun of her being white now. She would make fun of you being black. It would be a problem. See, the hypocrite junk, that's what I'm saying I don't like about y'all motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I don't like that junk. I'm different from y'all. You talking about some black community. Motherfucker, I ain't part of that community. I'm part of every community. I'm part of my people community. If you my peoples, this don't make you my peoples. This make you my peoples. If you think the same and we live the same and we got a lot of equality, yeah, you my peoples. That's my community. The black community, man, y'all motherfuckers, man, y'all don't think like me, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers think strange. A lot of y'all motherfuckers think strange. You ain't my people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with that hypocrite junk, but I'm with the real junk. You know what I'm saying? Let this would have been a black girl though. Would have been a problem. Would have been on the news and everything. But just because it's a white girl, it's okay, man.
Social problems were their own, while still blaming the autism
weird.
that
That junk weird, bro.
that they didn't have. Hale wrote, "I had social problems
that ain't
myself
racist.
To start off, continue on a relationship because it was my stumbleness. I suffered keeping up with people. They turn fine, but then go down a slope, and I don't know what the hell to do because I hated talking on the phone, chatting."
Bro, I'm not even talking about you, whatever your name is, Kitu Silent. I'm not talking about just because you never seen it, bro. I don't mean it don't happen. It's a situation where it's happening right now. Nobody's even talking about you, bro. Whatever your name is, Kitu Silent. I've never seen or heard a black person bash white people, bro. I'm showing you a video of them doing it right now. I don't even know about your life, bro. I don't care about your life. You acting like what you didn't see it just because it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It happens, brother. Not just making it up. You seeing it in your face that it's happening. Mother ever try to make it about him. Mother, it ain't about you. Just because you ain't seen it, that mean it ain't happen. It mean it ain't happening.
Lunchtime or do stuff outside of school. Honestly, I don't even like myself with the way I want things to go, but they end up now how I want to because of my wall of autism. However, at the end of the book, Hale acknowledged that something was coming. They wrote, "Sigh, no turning back. Gotta do this now or it will be too late. I'm real sorry. I'm so sorry." Hale never clarified what this was in reference to. Were they alluding to ending their own life, or something much worse?
I don't know why you had to shoot up a black school though,
continued in
shawty.
the same book by writing a new story, for lack of a better term. This one was called As I Walk Through the Doors of High School. They talked about normal fears of entering into a new school without knowing anybody else. They wondered if they would have sisters again, referring to the old basketball team. They stressed about what clothes to wear. Mainly, they were concerns common to most kids entering into high school. When one of the girls from basketball started going to their new school, Hale was overjoyed. They thought it was due to God answering a prayer. Here, it was clear that Hale wasn't as close with those girls as they wanted it to seem. This was because Hale admitted that they didn't even know where the other girls were going to school, instead simply waiting around this new school and hoping that they happened to attend the same one. They actually ran around the school trying to find them, mainly Sydney. Hale did meet up with one more girl, but it wasn't her. Hale continued to write in this book like a diary from that point onward, dropping the story format. Hale continued to express that they felt that being white was holding them back from making friends, feeling that the other students, quote, don't give a flip-wad damn about them. One thing that Hale took particular insecurity in was the fact that the basketball girls were likely off with boys. This was something that they mentioned multiple times and discussed. This disappointment slowly turned to hatred, with Hale saying, "They got all the homies in the world but me, just me and only me. I wasn't special to them anyway. I never thought I was special to them from the very damn start. Took advantage of me, didn't pick me up when I've been down, thrown into a ditch of deadgery, concealed in my own obsessive past all weak and shy and shit. Just liked me for being a white kid." Later, Hale continued, "Why do they care? They don't care about the damn lady comets. They damn don't. They're too invested in the treacherous high school party living to even think about or bring up, most importantly remember. Again, Hale grew jealous of boys, adding, "You have a damn boyfriend" in the list of complaints. Hale admitted to wearing the other girls' jerseys to feel their presence, writing, "I wore your legendary jersey and you think there's no passionate meaning or reality that I freaking looked up to you and meant it. I'm going ballistically, uncontrollably insane." Hale continued to rant about feeling abandoned by these girls for several pages, who likely barely even thought of them anymore. Surprisingly, it came clear that Hale didn't really even associate with the basketball girls outside of practice, unless you count watching them go about their day. Hale wrote, "But the thing that excited me most of all every day within every morning was seeing my dear loved teammates that I tried my best to recognize them whenever I got a chance, even if it was only for a second. Seeing them here, seeing them there. In the cafeteria, in the hallways, see them even running errands every now and then. But why not? I see them in the bathroom." Hale didn't mention hanging out with them outside of practice even once, or really even talking to them in any meaningful capacity. In fact, they admitted to the contrary. Quote, "I never really at all spent actual friend time with them because I didn't communicate. I didn't show. It was like love and interestedness in complete overmasked disguise. Nothing I did except on that team almost 3 damn years ago. 3 damn years. I didn't have their phone numbers. Hid myself from them when they were present because I was scared, and they were in classes I wasn't in since they were all sophomores." These rants about missing their teammates continued on for many, many, many more pages, showcasing a clear pattern of extreme obsession. Hale attempted to write some letters to these teammates, even planning the order of who they would give them to. Hale, according to the writing, did hand over one of these letters, saying, "I have everything and anything I could think of, every speck and detail of what she had to know, and I hope she'd understand how much I put value into it." Hale later confronted this girl in the parking lot, asking her what she thought of the letter. She responded awkwardly, "It was sweet. I thought you didn't care," clearly implying that they weren't that close. Hale took it to mean that they should have made an effort to connect more. Hale then continued by giving a letter to another one of the girls, confronting her in the hall while she was with friends and handing it over. Hale got a response later on. This girl said that being white didn't matter, told Hale that she would recommend them for the basketball team in high school, and left the door open to talk again at some point. All in all, a pretty simple letter. Regardless, even with only this, Hale was overjoyed. They mentioned to the girl later that it made them cry, to which the girl seemed very puzzled. Hale then grew angry and felt that this girl didn't really understand them at all. Now they were afraid to even give the letters out. The next letter went to Sydney. They exchanged some awkward greetings during the exchange. The next day, Sydney hadn't written back. This was when Hale made the mistake of saying, "Oh, you don't have to," something they would later come to regret immensely. Due to this, Hale came home and vomited. Hale then wrote a poem about how much they loved black people, notably using written Ebonics. It is a rough read. It says, "The only white girl that was loved and accepted from an all-black team. No white girl would have gone through an inspiring team experience than you. No white girl would have been more blessed and would not ask for anything else than that. You changed this white girl's basketball life forever. Treated me so sweetly regardless of being a white girl. You all will never understand how now it all means to me. This white girl loved this black team. This white girl loved black people like you. I didn't care that you were black. I infatuately loved you for the heart you had, not the color." Hale ended up writing something very racist against these black friends, however. In a journal, they wrote, "My sisters found me as a loner stray and let me in with them like Tarzan and the gorillas." Hale concluded the book with a collage of their own photos from their basketball days, along with one photo of the team and what appears to be cut out
Tarzan and the gorillas. Oh my god!
High school, Hale struggled to come to terms with the fact that their former teammates.
I laugh at racism. Like I say, y'all laugh at racism. Like I laugh at racism. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not really like I don't get offended by that junk because, like I said, bro, it's like that was funny right there. That was funny. But no, though, man. Like I was saying, though, you feel me? Get offended, bro, when it come to racist, bro, racist people, or you know what I'm saying, racism at all, because we're all the same. That's the reality, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let this world make me delusional with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, piss just like me, you boo-boo just like me, you do everything just like me. You're just a lighter skin tone. You know what I mean? And one thing that racist people don't want to accept that they came from us. Funniest thing about it. That's why when it comes to racist people, I don't even take them serious. You hate the people you came from. Motherfucker, you ain't know you got black in your blood, do you? That's the craziest thing ever in life. They love trying to say, go back to Africa. Mother effer everybody from Africa. That's the homeland, stupid oh. You know what I'm saying? Literally. The first humans ever was Homo sapiens. Migrated from Africa, bro. Everybody migrated from Africa, bro. Do you not know that? You know what I mean? The only reason white people exist because y'all migrated to a freaking place where they have lower sun, You feel me? Europe, America. You know what I mean? Ireland. You migrated to places, you know what I mean, that has lower sunlight. So that's how white people became white people. They don't even know their dang history. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I don't get it. I don't understand. You feel me? Like when it comes to racist white people in freaking America, they love trying to say, go back to where you came from. Mother effer, we were here first. Native Americans were here first. Like, what are you not understanding? Y'all were not here. If anything, Caucasians, you are the freaking immigrants. Think I'm lying? Go look, do your research, bro. I researched y'all. I researched everything. I researched the land that I'm on. I'm not a stupid brother like these other dudes is. I know my ish, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're Europeans. You know what I mean? You came from Europe, stole the land from Native Americans, teamed up with the Chinese, got guns from the Chinese, because if you did not know, who made guns? Chinese people made guns. Most of the stuff in America, bro, is made by Chinese people. Look at the thing, bro. What is going to say made in China? Yeah, so guns were made by Chinese people. They paired up with Chinese people, got guns, bro, and then came over to freaking, wasn't called America, it was called the New World, Turtles Island, that's what they called it. You know what I mean? And took the land from Native Americans that were living off land. They had spears and whatnot, bro. And then the Europeans came from Europe and infected them with diseases. Chicken pox. Where do you think diseases came from? Ding, 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 ding. Wasn't no such thing as diseases in America before they came here. You know what I'm saying?
Lives.
That's why like when it comes to race, I'm speaking about racist people. I'm not speaking about Caucasians, bro. Because like I said, I grew up around Caucasians, bro. I'm from Alabama, bro. Speaking about racist Caucasian, I'm like, you don't even know where you came from. And I know a lot of y'all, bro, be growing up and you be letting your parents lie to you, bro. You got to learn your history because there's a lot of people that's walking around in America that don't even know the land they're on. You don't even know your history. You're just being lied to. You know what I'm saying? Learn your history, bro. Everybody came from black people. Literally. You know what I'm saying? We were the first ones here. Simple.
New interests.
It's not an opinion, it's a fact.
And moved on to different schools themselves. Their new circles were fairly different from Hale's.
You're black, and you see it today. You literally see it today. You know what I'm saying? You see it today, bro. You feel me? A black woman and a white man get together, and they have a baby. What does that baby turn out to look like? Light skin. That light skinned baby grow up to marry a man or a woman. The baby turned out to be black. You feel me? Like, come on, bro. You feel me? It's simple. You feel me?
They couldn't vibe with these new groups, leading to a feeling of isolation.
You see it today.
About ending their own life for the
how we make white people.
At this point, noticing that something was wrong, their mother took them to the hospital again to be evaluated.
Just delusional at this
point. This led to Hale coming to see a therapist regularly. This therapist noticed that something was.
Gotta laugh at racist people, bro. Laugh at them, bro.
Evaluation. It was concluded that they suffered from major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, dysmic disorder, a
hate has become from us
that causes low self-esteem and loss of interest, social phobias, and anger management issues, and that they were underdeveloped emotionally with poor social skills. Again, it was concluded that Hale didn't have autism, despite them continuing to self-diagnose with it. Regardless, they came to regularly attend therapy and take medication for the other problems. When Hale graduated from high school, they started to attend a college for art called Nashville College of Art and Design. They later wrote that they actually had no interest in moving on to college, given their past experiences with bullying at school, but that their mother made them, feeling that it was the only chance they had at ever living independently. On the first day of class, Hale had an outburst after being unable to create a password on the computer, leading to them storming out of the room. However, being interested in art, Hale was surprised to find that the classes were actually pretty enjoyable. At the same time, though, they lamented that their previous basketball teammates from middle school were only drifting further and further away. Aside from the occasional social media post, communication with them was becoming near non-existent by this point. Hale began to rant about the girls, saying that they were bad friends who had abandoned them. When one of Hale's previous basketball teammates, a woman named Paige, set up her new email at her university, Hale was able to figure out what it would be by looking at other student emails and sent her a message immediately, before Paige had even looked at the account.
It's some obsessive stuff right
Hale
here.
also sent her some memorabilia from their time as teammates.
She obsessive.
Paige wasn't sure of what to do, later saying, "I'm trying to be as respectful and also as honest as possible. It felt obsessive. It felt like stalkerish behavior."
No cap.
Little did she know, Hale's strange behavior towards her was only starting. Hale continued to stay in college for quite some time. This brings us up to 2017 when they were about 22 years old. Hale was becoming more stressed, more lonely, and more clearly mentally ill. Their body weight dropped to an alarmingly low level, something both their mom and their therapist made note of. Hale agreed to go to a clinic to be treated for anorexia for 6
Why do you keep
weeks
saying
that summer.
there?
Gradually, they got back up to a healthy
Like
weight.
he's speaking in two people's sense. Like he's speaking in two people. Like, am I the only one that's recognizing that? You saying like you keep saying they like
Low level, something both their mom and their therapist made note of.
both something their mom and their therapist, bro. Her mom and her therapist, bro. Yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, I'm like, why are you speaking like it's two people being involved, bro? I just realized you're talking like from the beginning. What you said in the beginning, they look her, bro. You know what I'm saying? Her mom and her therapist, bro. Hey, bro, stop saying they, bro. Real talk. You sound real stupid saying that, Joe.
Hale agreed to go to a clinic to be
Not
treated
two
for
different people you're talking about. You're talking about the same woman, same girl.
anorexia for 6 weeks that
What
summer.
are you talking about?
Gradually, they got back up to a healthy weight, but the depression that
You
led
talking
to the
about
lack
they?
of eating in the first place hadn't really changed much. It was the autumn after that summer that Hale's life and mental outlook would take a drastic turn for the worse.
You're a woman.
That November, they started to
Your
watch
girl.
numerous documentaries about school shootings and other mass killings as they ruminated on their own issues with school, socializing, and bullying. They quickly became deeply fascinated with the idea of carrying out one's own revenge on such a grand scale. Hale couldn't get enough, seeking out more and more information about the topic. Hale collected any articles that they could find about these killers, downloading images of them, reading up on what weapons they used, learning about their motives, obsessing over how many people they killed, and finally reading about their own mental health
Oh,
problems.
that right there was crazy. I did a freaking video on that, y'all. So, you know what I mean? If y'all want to go look at that was crazy. Documentary playlist section over yonder.
Putting together a massive image macro in Photoshop that compiled all of this information, Hale began to notice something. They kept returning to learning about the Columbine massacre no matter what.
That was crazy.
While they were fascinated with other killers, the Columbine shooters, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, were the two that they felt they most connected with. This was mostly due to the killers' views on society and the mental health problems that they had, something that Hale felt mirrored their own outlook perfectly. Hale began to obsess over how much notoriety that they had gained after carrying out their attack, taking a particular interest in the fans that they still have to this day. Hale began
Fans?
to wonder if they, in their own words, could become a god.
I hear that. Fans. Freaking weirdos. You're a fan of him, you're freaking weird. You know what I'm saying? Fans. I know how weird that is. Bunch of freaks. You know what I'm saying? A fan of that. You know what I'm saying? Freaks. Bunch of future school shooters. Fans of them killing people. Freaks, man. One thing I realized about humans, man, it's a whole bunch of freakish human beings. Freakish freaks. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, y'all, bro, you not, I don't let anybody around me. I'm telling you right now. I don't let anybody around me because I don't know what's going on in your freakish head. You know what I mean? Whole time you're trying to act like you're normal, but in the inside you're a freak. I got some freaks watching me right now. You know what I'm saying? Whole time you're acting like you're a normal person. You're a freak. You know what I'm saying? And deep down inside, you're a freak. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to, but
Like Eric and Dylan.
it's a bunch of
Of
freaks
their
watching me right
Columbine
now.
obsession, Hale later wrote, "Eric and Dylan, I respect those two guys. I admire them for what they have done. They are a part of who I am today. I finally found other two supreme beings such as me who underline my own values
I
and
admire
beliefs,
them. That's great.
relatable in thoughts, actions, and desires. I want to do all the things they did. Hate people, stupid Christian bitches, purchase guns, and kill all the beings so different than them. I want to leave the earth with something everyone will remember. If I fell off a fucking bridge and killed myself, no one will remember that shit.
So you're doing this
But
for attention? You're doing this so people can remember what?
mass shooting, I will leave with a validating cause/awareness and influence on future generations.
Yeah, that's something
Eric
weird.
and Dylan have been more successful for the impact they have left since.
Bro
and
said
I wish
everyone has that side to them. Yeah, I'm not a freak, my bro. You know what I mean? So whatever your name is, I promise you, I don't have that freakish side to me. So you just admit you're a freak. You know what I'm saying? I told you, I know I won't play. You know what I mean? You say everyone has that side to them. Yeah, I don't have that side to them, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't have that freakish side to me. You know what I'm saying? You're on your own right there, buddy.
They killed more kids, too concerned with those default bombs. They were intelligent at a higher power, knew their purpose to kill and in existence to humanity. Well, that's how I feel. I want to kill like them. Not be just like them, but be my own supreme existence to ultimate power over all weak, useless, dumb shits.
Bro, you know I ain't talking about that, bro. Shut up.
I will when the time is right, and that time is on countdown, just like theirs. In turn, Hale began to grow disgusted with mass killers who didn't achieve that same level of notoriety. They began to feel a particular sense of negativity towards killers with low kill counts, calling them amateurs and saying that they didn't deserve respect. They said that their pathetic attacks made it harder for people like them, Eric and Dylan, to carry out what they called godlike intentions. After obsessing over these types of crimes for the next 6 or 7 months, Hale began to fantasize about committing an attack of their very own in the summer of 2018. They began to write about how they were growing tired of being ignored and alone, saying that this was due to their own self-diagnosed autism. They began to rant about one of their previous basketball teammates for having a relationship with a man instead of them. This was the catalyst that made Hale decide that they needed to do something that would get them noticed, by any means necessary. They decided that if they were to kill a bunch of helpless children, it wouldn't be possible for others to ignore them any longer.
I thought I was playing. Y'all remember when I said that, y'all? People do things for attention. Y'all remember that? That's what I be trying to tell y'all, bro. These dudes do things for attention. People do things for attention. It's so many people that's like her in real life. Just do things for attention. We'll kill somebody for attention. We'll go to jail for attention. We'll get in trouble for attention. Y'all remember when I said that? Y'all remember what I said? That's why you got to start ignoring people. These people just want attention, whether it's bad attention. They just want attention. They just want eyes on them. They want to feel attention on them. Once you start ignoring somebody, watch how they act. Just don't even look at a person. Act like a person don't even exist. I bet you he or she gonna keep on trying to get your attention. They gonna keep on trying to get. Just start ignoring people, bro. Y'all be giving them what they want. It don't matter if I just clap. It don't matter if I beat their head in. They just happy that I'm beating their head in. Well, I'm not getting attention. Well, I'm glad I'm getting a little attention. You beat my head in, but I'm glad I'm getting attention. Getting their head knocked off. They just glad they're getting attention. Then you start understanding how weird people is. So once you start understanding how weird people is, just ignore them, bro. Walk past them like they don't exist, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. They're going to keep constantly trying to get your attention over and over and over and over again. You're going to be like, bro, this motherfucker weird. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, bro. They want you to look at them, bro. People say things on purpose to get your attention. I'm telling you, bro, y'all got to just start ignoring people, bro. Act like they don't exist. That's what I'm doing now, bro. I had to understand. I'm like, dang, these motherfuckers want my attention. Even if I slap the taste out their mouth, they just want my attention. They just do. I did what they want me to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like basically they got control over me. Start thinking of it like that, bro. It's like, man, I'm gonna ignore you. I'm telling you, you ignoring somebody is way more harmful than you hitting them, bro. You ignoring somebody, bro, that right there hurts them way more than you just hitting them in the face. I'm telling you, bro. Try ignoring somebody. Somebody get crazy at the lip with you. You just ignore them, act like they ain't there. But they finna feel stupid. Once you start hitting them, though, it's gonna feel justified. Once you ignore them and make them just look like they talking to themselves, they gonna feel so stupid. They gonna feel so dumb. It's like, dang, this motherfucker ain't even showing me attention. Like, I'm talking to myself.
While Hale was continuing with therapy and medication, their anger, sadness, and nervousness only continued to grow, and that would make itself very obvious.
Bro, I remember I was walking in Kroger, bro. I didn't even look at this woman. I'm walking in Kroger. This woman behind me, bro, talking so loud on the phone. I'm like, cuz, you want people to look at you so bad. I ain't even look at her. I just started laughing. I was like, I just do a look. Then turn around one time. Why you gotta be so loud for? Oh, you want attention. You want me to look back and look at you, bro? You know what I'm saying? You want me to look at you. You want me to look back and look at you. You feel me? A lot of y'all live for attention. A lot of y'all talking about some facts in the comment section. A lot of y'all just like that. If you want looking for attention, you want to have social media. Like I said, this is my job. I only got YouTube, bro, and Twitch. This is my job, bro. I ain't looking for your dang attention. You know what I'm saying? I'm just working. When you're on Instagram, you looking for attention. You looking for validation whether you like it or not. That's why you look at how many likes you got. You don't turn your likes off. You care about how many likes you got. You look at the comment section. Because you care about how people feel about you. You care about attention. You know what I'm saying? You do it without you even thinking. You do it without you even knowing you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing content, you do it for pictures. I do it because of me. If you're doing it because of you, keep it in the dang freaking camera. Keep it in your camera. What you gonna do? You gonna spend hours editing the photo because you want people validation so bad. You want attention. You want that attention so bad. But you do it for you though. Man, stop lying to yourself, kid. You gonna do it for you. You gonna do it for you.
Around May of 2018.
Hey, look, if I'm not talking, look, if I ain't talking to you, shut up then. Only a hit dog holler. If I ain't talking about you, shut up. Every time I start saying something, well, I got it for this, I got it for this, motherfucker, I might be talking about you then. If I ain't talking about you, bro, just listen to the video.
This one was very disjointed.
Shut the freak up.
To start off, it began with artwork, hand-drawn comics, and poetry. However, cracks in this cutesy, happy exterior soon began to show. Hale began to write a sentence, that being, all work and no play makes Audrey a dull girl, over and over and over again for an entire 2 pages. They began to document their further descent into depression with artwork demonstrating how they felt. Hale continued to self-isolate, only going to areas that they were interested in when they felt that there would be as few people as possible. Hale began to believe that their only true friends were their stuffed animals. They gave them their own names and personalities and began to take them everywhere. It was around this time that Hale also began to get into illegal activity for the first time, coming to shoplift from local businesses fairly often, calling it a shopping addiction. Usually, they would go for video games, toys, Pokemon cards, and art.
It pissed me off keep saying they, bro.
They justified all of the theft as being acceptable, reasoning that it soothed their anxiety and depression. For the first time, Hale came close to acting on their urge to end their life. This happened twice, and both of these times they stopped before actually injuring themselves beyond superficial marks. They said that this was due to the fact that they realized if they acted now, nobody would ever remember them or have a reason to care. This idea of being remembered only grew more and more prominent over time, becoming a major motivating factor in the future. Wanting to let loose on some anger, Hale began to write what they called rage storms. While the rage storms themselves have never been released, they have been heavily summarized by various outlets. These were long, rambling, expletive, and slur-filled rants towards people they knew or society in general. One of their favorite topics to write about was the idea that they had been ostracized for being autistic, once again despite never having been diagnosed after several evaluations. Another factor that really seemed to bother Hale was that, no matter how hard they tried, they just couldn't be accepted into black culture. Hale began to follow these same liberal politics that they felt would get black people to accept them, but it still didn't work. In turn, Hale took it a step further by hating white people in general, often going on large rants about white privilege despite being white themselves and coming from a wealthy background. It wasn't long before the majority of the anger in these rage storms got directed towards Hale's previous basketball teammates from middle school, who they were still obsessing over well into their 20s. They were furious at the fact that these girls were finding success in romance, their schooling, and their careers. Hale stalked them all on social media relentlessly, criticizing their posts and ranting about how they'd all abandoned them. By October 1st, 2018, Hale had started journaling again. Gone was the clean, legible handwriting that they had used in high school. Their handwriting was now noticeably more scratchy, more angry, and more lazy. Much like in the old days, they immediately began with a rant about fake friends, still most likely referring to the basketball team. Quote,
bro, you're worrying about a basketball team that, like, bro, this is middle school, bro. Like, what, you 20 years old still worrying about middle school, bro? Like, oh my God, these girls probably don't even remember you, bro. You ranting about 7th grade, bro. You like 20 years old, ranting about 8. You folks moved on with their lives, bro. They most likely don't even think about you, bro. You know, you think about some girls, it's not even think they went on with their lives, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
ever since 8th grade, I have been ignored and pushed aside, except for accepting outgoers or outcasts.
The only thing about life, bro, just try to get better, bro. That's the only thing you can do with life. You ain't never gonna become better if you just always reflecting, bro, on the worst and on the negativity, bro. All you could do is just become a better person. That's the only thing you could do when it comes to life. Keep talking about stuff in 8th grade, bro. You like 20 years old talking about 8th grade.
They say
gotta
it's
grow
more
up,
than
bro.
just basketball.
Gotta grow up.
Hale then, once again, even now 23 years old, continued to rant about their 7th grade basketball team for many, many more pages before quickly, abruptly dropping the topic and writing a list of Pokemon cards that they had seen on eBay. Returning to the topic, Hale pasted in photos of themselves with different girls from the basketball team, writing rants in the form of poems for them. Many of the poems are the same and highly repetitive. They rant about friendship, how good things were in the past, sisterhood, and the qualities that they loved about the girls. Eventually, Hale finally admitted that they had much more than a friend-level attraction to these girls. They admitted that they had been attracted to them sexually as well. Hale wrote, "You're not supposed to have intimate feelings with girls if you're a girl since I'm a Christian. That's
Exactly.
what I tell myself and a moral rule that I have to follow."
It's supposed to be that way.
It was then that Hale mentioned having an imaginary friend that was a boy in the past, a boy that was much more brave and open with his feelings, almost serving as the antithesis to everything that Hale was.
So you had a sweet imaginary spirit. You know what I'm saying? Not. We had a booty busting imaginary friend. Heard about imaginary friends, but I ain't never heard about a booty buster one. I ain't never heard about that. That's a different one right there. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. So your imaginary friend was a booty buster. You're talking to a booty busting demon. Stop, Jay. Stop. Talking to a booty busting demon. You know what I'm saying? And that demon turned you into a coochie bumper. You know what I'm saying? Like, that demon has turned you into a coochie bumper. You know what I mean? Kept dwelling on coochie bumping. You know what I mean? That you became a coochie bumper.
Saying, "This boy was born inside of me when I was only in the 4th grade.
Oh, God. Now this boy was but you a girl. What are you talking about?
First, I really didn't know who he was when I was young. But now that I am a young adult, I have tried to get to know him more by giving him the chance to speak. There were some small qualities my imaginary boy could do through me." After that revelation, Hale went right back to talking about loving black people and reminiscing about middle school.
Love,
However, they said
Shawty,
that
love.
black people didn't love them back, writing, "They didn't want to love me, rather judge me and laugh at some white girl piece of gay shit who appeared gay by wearing guy clothes." But shortly after admitting to only wearing guy clothes because the tightness of female clothes was uncomfortable. Oddly enough, all pictures of Hale in their younger years show them in feminine clothing.
Yeah,
and
you
Hale even
you don't
mentioned
look
being girly.
like you don't even look too bad right here. Like, I'm just looking at you, you don't look like the type to be like this. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. Some of the other photos you did, but this right here, you don't even look like
the older journal.
you don't
So
look
it
like the
appears
type.
Hale was gradually rewriting history to fit this new narrative. Then, as usual, the journal turned into a long-winded speech about how amazing the basketball girls in middle school were for many more pages. However, towards the end of this rant, Hale realized something. These girls must not have wanted to touch them because they were straight. They only love boys. Quote, "Will they think about saying goodbye or just treat me different, not to touch or hug me? Will
wanna
my
touch you.
sexuality be treated like a disease to them? Would they understand and accept that I cannot help why I love who I love? That it's simply being that I was born this way?"
Wasn't born that way, bro. Stop lying. I don't know why they love saying that. Wasn't born that way, bro. You know what I mean? You just kept on heeding on homosexual thoughts. That's what you kept doing, bro. That is the freaking what's the name, bro? I told y'all I made these dang wings, bro. Fire. You know what I mean? But bro, all you was doing, like I said, the devil just attacked the mind, bro. You wasn't fruity. You wasn't fruity coming out the womb. You actually was dressing like a woman. You know what I'm saying? You was actually a girl. You feel me? But you just started heating on them homosexual thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So he kept throwing it at you, throwing it at you, throwing it at you, throwing it at you, throwing it at you. You just heated to it, and you let something that wasn't you become you. That's all it is, bro. You wasn't born that way, bro. You didn't even know about no being sweet or nothing when you was a baby. You didn't know nothing about that, bro. You was a girl, bro. You was cool. You know what I'm saying? When you was going to that other school, you was all right, bro. You was Christian and going to the covenant school. You weren't thinking about that junk. You start growing up, and then that's when you start liking girls, bro. You know why? Because you start attacking that mind. You know what I'm saying? None of these booty bumpers and coochie busters, they started off this. Heck no. You know what I mean? That every coochie bumper and every booty buster that y'all see right now, that came from the mind. I'm telling y'all how powerful the mind is, bro. If you keep heeding on something that's in your mind, if you keep heeding on homosexual thoughts, if you keep heeding on evil thoughts, if you keep heeding on sinful thoughts, that is going to come out of you sooner or later. Can't keep on heeding on a freaking thought. And I'm speaking to somebody right now. You cannot keep on heeding on thoughts, bro, and expect you not to act on them thoughts. Either you take authority over your mind or your mind gonna take authority over you, bro. Simple. You're heeding on false imaginary thoughts. The thoughts that you're thinking about not even real. But if you keep thinking about it, it's going to become real. Not even real. You're in Delulu land. What you're thinking about, what you're heeding on, what you're feeling bad about, it's not even real. You know how stupid that is? You're heeding on a false imagination. All you got to be like, no. All you got to be like is no. Ignore that thought. Move on. All you got to do. But yeah, y'all sit in it. Every day you just sit in it. And eventually it becomes you.
After all, my closest friends are straight. They love boys intimately. I don't. It was after this that Hale began to lean more on the imaginary male friend mentioned previously, talking to him, telling him secrets, and talking about girls. Hale also grew incredibly jealous whenever any of the basketball girls would date a man. They began to rant in what they themselves called hate notes. One read, "I hate you for letting a relationship that's intimate come between us. You are so into one person that you suddenly spiral your priorities of importance in a direction that's unlike you to an extent it's unfair to everyone that felt close to you." The anger in these notes got so intense that Hale couldn't even contain them to one page, coming back to write more and more in the margins, around the header, and around the bottom of the pages. The rant mainly consisted of Hale complaining about being left behind for this man, about this friend not visiting them in the hospital once, and more interestingly, about being ignored in the 8th grade, implying that they weren't even that close to begin with. Hale started to cope with the fact that these girls were into men by leaning harder into their male imaginary friend. Now, despite only calling this man an imaginary friend in the past, Hale began to claim that this man was their true self all along. However, as we will come to find later, Hale didn't even know what transgenderism was yet, despite how prominent it was in the media around this time. So in the end, they wrote, "I am a gay girl, so how do I find myself and get used to it? Take in on the sights, get out my binoculars and find more opportunities to accept my imaginary boy more. Where will our balloon take us from place to place?" Later, Hale began to feel that maybe, just maybe, the basketball girls would see them more as a friend if they were a male. They wrote, "If I feel I am the boy character in a video game, movie, or TV show, I picture myself as them as me being a male. I think a lot about what I would look as a male and how women would treat me as more than a friend."
See, then that's what I'm saying. They really want to be us. You know what I mean? And like I said, I probably lose some stud audiences. Just be real. You want to be just like us. Be real. You know what I mean? For you to be like, you don't want to be like us, bro, wear our clothes, literally try to talk like us, you literally try to act like us, but you don't want to be like us, you're delusional. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be like us, bro. She want to be like us. She literally wants to be like us because every one of her basketball teammates is going out with us. She want to literally be us. But you have some girls that trying to act like boys talking about they don't want to be like us. Bro, stop it. Everything you do, you go into the freaking store getting fake dildos. You literally copying the whole style. And the thing is, they walking around acting like we jealous of them. How we jealous of a facade? How can I be jealous of somebody that try to be like me? I'm jealous of an imposter. I'm jealous of somebody that bleed every month. Whatever, you ain't never gonna know how to feel and feel. You could try to act like you know how to feel and feel. Girl, you want to get pleased. You be faking that junk with that little fake dildo, acting like you really, girl, you don't know how that junk feel. You got plastic on. You really tired for real. That's why we see a lot of studs coming back straight. Because you want it so bad. You know what I'm saying? You want it, dude. You know you want that. You want that junk so bad. We see it all the time. You see with Damo and Chrissy? Girl came back and became straight. Because you know what? Every girl wants it. They lie to y'all, bro. They're lying. They want it. Every girl want it. The stud, she wants it. I'm telling you, they gonna get tired eventually. It's just a little, it's just, y'all, do we really see old studs? Think about it, y'all. Do we see old studs? Think about it, chat. Do we ever see old studs? Heck no, that's a young phase. I'm telling y'all, bro. It's young phase. They studs throughout the young phase. When they come to them 30s and mid 40s, they gonna want the penis. They gonna get tired of acting. I'm telling y'all, they're gonna get tired of acting. I rarely see old studs. You know what I'm saying? But between 30 and the 40, through the 40, you know what I mean? They're going to want the penis.
Hale then continued to
they can't help it.
seemingly about their father.
Even the girls that say they don't like, even the girls that say they don't like men, you know what I'm saying? But yet go out with somebody that act like a man. You know you ain't gay for real. I'm gonna go and call all y'all out. Shout out, you not gay. If you was gay, you'd go out with a regular woman. Why you gotta go? If you so gay, why you gotta go out with somebody that act like us? Why you don't like the real thing, but you go get a fake thing? Like, how you live don't make no sense. You don't like men, but go get somebody that act like a man. You don't like the real thing, but go get a fake thing. Shoot, man. That junk is stupid. Junk is dumb, bro. I don't understand y'all mind, bro. Stupid. It's stupid, man. I just be like, what the freak? Like, but you know, them type of women right there, them type of women been hurt by men. You know what I mean? They really like men. I'm calling them out. They really like men for real. The one that go out with studs, they really like men for real. They heart been broken by men. You know what I'm saying? Heart been broken by men. Saying men ain't ish. So instead of getting a real man, I'm gonna go get a girl that act like a man. She probably won't break my heart like he would. I'm telling you, them girls don't be gay for real. The one that be going out with studs, the facade. They just be talking. They just be acting, bro. Actors. They with her because they think that she gonna treat her better than a man. That motherfucker had her heart broken so many times by the man, she gave up on men.
Like, I hate him when he acts like
a lot of them motherfuckers like that. I'm calling all y'all out.
One thing is messed up in the schedule.
My line?
Has to take money out of his account or fix something broke in the house.
My tweaking.
Complaints toward the father are fairly mundane to say the least, mainly calling him lazy around the house while also complaining that he works too much, as well as saying that his wife is too good for him. Very ironically, Hale also complains that he rants too much. Hale seemed to legitimately think that, due to all of this, he was actually possessed. They wrote, "I wish there were more days when your demon is not around to haunt.
No, you're possessed.
Me. The real you is relaxed enough to crack some jokes." Adding, "Sometimes I ask God why he had to let you deal with this horrid, trenchable creature. I wonder why it had to be you and watch you being manipulated countless years by this monster, controlling your every thought, action, mood." By December, about a year after their fascination with school shooters began, Hale started to feel a desire to attack Cresswell, their old middle school. They began to draw a map of the layout of the school from memory.
Bro said, "Dang, Jay, chill."
Exactly, in an attack, they would progress through the building. They even took note of what they felt was the perfect place to end it all. Knowing that it would be hard to enter the school during regular hours, especially as a random adult, they even began to write down plans on how to gain entry to the building. All throughout the first half of 2019, Hale continued to fantasize about carrying out the attack on the middle school. There was a problem, though. They didn't have any weapons and didn't know how to obtain any. Still, though, they continued to plan out the fantasy in excruciating detail, all the while writing rage stories.
Yo, this is some crazy ish right here.
Hale, by this time, had come to see their whiteness as something to be disgusted of. They blamed the color of their skin for being unable to win over black women. It was due to this sheer rage that Hale would see the first obstruction in their plans. Their therapist had noticed that this anger had been growing to a very concerning level. This all crossed the line when Hale admitted to having fantasies about harming both themselves and others. As much as they tried to overcorrect and say that those were only fantasies and nothing they would ever actually do, the therapist recommended another psychological assessment. At the Vanderbilt University Medical Center, it was confirmed that Hale continued to suffer from the mental disorders that they had.
Hey, and KT Solid, that's another thing that I be saying about him. I said, if you think, hey, look, like I said, bro, that's another thing, bro. A lot of these dudes don't know what they be doing. That's why a lot of women be turning gay too as well. And they don't know what they be doing. See, I know what I'm doing. I study the woman's body. I watch YouTube videos on your body. I know to please you before I please myself. Whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's 15, I bet you I'll please you before I please myself. That's why I be having my girl go crazy. That's why my ex is crazy over. You know what I mean? Because I know the objective is submit to you first. You know what I mean? And then after I submit to you, get you done, and guess what? I get done. I understand. Women, I understand. I want to say, you think you gay. You know what I'm saying? You think you sweet. Oh, you just ain't had the right one yet. You know what I mean? They trying to please themselves. Hey, look, I'll submit to you first. I'll submit to your pleasure. I'll submit to your needs first. I can wait. You know what I'm saying? Get you out the way. And then after I'm done out the way, you feel me? After you done out the way, you know, then we can stir off the lot to me. You know what I'm saying? That's how you can do it, bro. You feel me? A lot of these dudes don't know what they be doing. That's why a lot of y'all be turning sweet too. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what they be doing. They be so in a rush to get themselves off, you know what I mean? The whole time, that girl ain't even, you know what I'm saying? I understand women, I get
It
it.
was noted that the depression and the anxiety were
Just know all of us ain't like that.
Hale continued
It's
to deny
your
wanting to harm
birthday,
others, and
boy.
it was found that they showed no signs of psychosis. Still, though, it was recommended that Hale take part in an intensive program to address these issues. With their mother saying it was for the best, Hale agreed. They completed the program after 8 weeks in August of 2019.
Bro said, gotta take it slow,
During
bro.
this period, Hale's therapist retired, leading to them finding a new
You don't know what you're doing,
For
cuz.
a very brief period of time, about a few weeks, it did seem that the outpatient program had worked. Hale was being a bit more positive. However, it was only a matter of weeks before they fell back into the pit of anger and despair. Hale went back to their old fantasies of committing a massive
key too
attack,
solid, bro. Chill
feeling
out,
that it would
cuz.
give their life and death more meaning. They
Chill out.
specifically stressed that they wanted to become a god like Eric and Dylan, saying that they would do so by attacking a specific target, young children. Hale continued to fantasize, sometimes even thinking about other locations and putting them on the back burner as possible backup locations. One of these other locations was their own high school, as Hale experienced a good deal of bullying and ostracization there as well. All of the locations they debated on were due to past incidents in which they felt they had been slighted. On March 11th of 2019, Hale wrote, "Revenge is becoming my hidden middle name. If I was the shooter of IT Cresswell Prep Middle, then you'd be cured from leprosy, blindness of heart from being bullied to a severe extent that those scars are tumored to me." Hale seemed to think that carrying out a shooting would open up the eyes of
You got beef with people that didn't even do none to you.
Men and even getting married. However, it was around March of 2020.
Bro, you're beefing with people that's married, gang. Like, you're beefing with people that literally does not have a problem with you. They don't even know that you have a problem.
Think that carrying out a shooting would open up the eyes of the basketball girls, who were now busy dating men and even getting married.
That junk is
However,
weird.
it was around March of 2020 that Hale began to feel that
What the
attacking
freak?
Cresswell wasn't going to be a good idea. This wasn't due to the fact that Hale had realized killing children was wrong, not at all. While they were okay with being called a child killer, there was one label that they couldn't stomach receiving: racist. Yes, given that Cresswell was a predominantly black school, Hale decided that they would need to attack a white school instead or risk being labeled as a racist. Around this time, Hale decided to take a swing at making their own version of the series of tapes that the Columbine shooters recorded.
Crazy.
Those tapes have since been referred to as the Basement Tapes, a series of videos that Eric and Dylan recorded before their attack that have achieved mythical status over the years due to the fact that they were never released. Spending the next several months recording them, Hale called their own version the Room Tapes, as they were recorded in the bedroom rather than the basement. Hale wanted to record 13 of them, but only ever ended up filming 12. They were all from around 5 to 40 minutes long. In many, they explained to family and friends why they were going to commit the attack and how they felt about them as people. It was intended for these videos to be given to those people after the attack took place. Some of the other tapes were addressed to the police and the media, with Hale arrogantly, preemptively boasting about how they had gotten away with it and how they had planned it all. Hale began to post pictures of the basketball girls in bikinis and other revealing outfits into their journal, commenting on them in a very creepy fashion. One page read, "Damn, you have turned out so fine. Holy fuck. That blonde hair makes you look like a black Ariel or some shit, an undersea princess. Forget that you don't even want nothing to do with me or the way you live your life. I have become kind of in love with you apart from such attractive femininity." Despite being afraid of being labeled as a racist, Hale continued staking out the Cresswell Middle School simply due to the fact that they had no other idea of where to carry out an attack at that
Some
point.
sick-ish, man.
On May 22nd, 2019, Hale
Sick-ish.
wrote, "I just want to outline plans for a school shooting, 'cause I was born to die," claims Lana Del Rey's album. "I was born a nobody like Roxas myself. Kingdom Hearts 358 and a half days. His theme song is my life song. I love it when I'm not fucking lonely and when I am my mind full of suicide attempt maps. Or outline maps of IT Cresswell so I can kill all of you just so I can prove my existence is an existence in reality to all of those who purposely avoided me all my life." They went to the school and took pictures of the surroundings and the entrances after hours. Feeling they might have to force their way in, they tested the strength of the doors to the building as well. Eventually, Hale was able to get into the school, although it isn't known how, and take photos of the interior to use in map making. Hale wrote, "The devil is ever so near me. I can feel him. I am his prototype of mockery to laugh at whenever I turn against God in all my cursing, temptations of suicide, thoughts of homicide, fantasies of being the most hated and infamous school shooter, and now even cursing in his own name. I have been under chasms of becoming fascinated with guns, school shootings throughout the years. The shooters themselves, I believe I feel those same feelings they felt, feeling at the very bottom and treated the way surrounded by a bunch of bastard brats in middle and junior high. I feel I share their fate. On November 15th,
How long I been freaking streaming?
Hit list in their journal.
Dang, Donald Trump. Dang, she wanted to kill you too? Golly, everybody want to kill that mother. Golly, man. Your name just show up everywhere, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Your name just show up everywhere, man. How your name show up in this? You know what I'm saying? Golly. That mother ever name show up everywhere. Donald J. Trump. This mother ever wanted to kill you.
Contains 4 names and 2 of them have been redacted, but you can see at the top of the list was Donald Trump. Underneath are 2 blanks. Given reasons that become clear later on, it's safe to assume that at least one of these was their father. The other could have been their mother. The last name listed isn't even necessarily a name, but the IT Cresswell School as a whole. They mentioned that Eric Harris and
she probably want to get rid of Donald Trump because Donald Trump ain't with them booty buses. Now, I mean, Donald Trump ain't with that booty bus and he with that jump.
The Columbine shooters had failed due to
probably want
reasons
to X them out the
insisting that they wouldn't make the same mistake. They felt that if someone autistic like Adam Lanza could kill so many people on impulse, they could do even better. Ironically, after calling their own father demon-possessed and lambasting him for it, Hale began writing a letter from the perspective of a demon who was possessing them. It went on for several
I think
pages.
that junk ain't real. That junk real.
It was to be very performative, almost as if it was meant to be seen later on. It starts with, "Hi, I'm Demon." Much of the writing is about the demon being stuck in Hale's body and either trying to get out or complaining about Hale's boring life. Hale finished off the demon letter by drawing a doodle of a demon and some cliche 666 artwork, saying, "God help me, I've been a rebel. From God's little prophet to Eric and Dylan's secret cadet. Half wishing my life was at an end, half dying. I could kill those bastard adolescents." Hale, struggling with their own gender identity, began to hate church. However, for the time being, the hatred seemed to only be directed toward church itself and not religion. They wrote, "My church doesn't accept gay people, so therefore I hate all of you. Churches who have the rainbow flag outside I will maybe enter, but church overall is pointless and a waste of time and should be destroyed. Some mass killers have got similar thoughts in mind like how I think, and have proved their thoughts made flesh to the world. You Christians/non-believers think that they are evil and wrong, but you are not aware of your own darkness and sin." This hatred toward only the church was confirmed later on the page, where they said, "I know for a fucking fact all of you need Jesus, including me, not just the mass killers and murderers, mentally fucked sick people. You fuckers are no different."
We all need Jesus for sure.
Hale came to confess their love
Simple
to
as
a
that.
girl, presumably one of the girls from basketball. The confession didn't land. Hale didn't hear from her all night, crying until the morning. They claimed that this other girl was gay too, but this may have been a mere assumption on Hale's part. They admitted that the girl said that it was weird. Hale took this incredibly personally, ending a rant in their journal about it with, "I wish I planned a mass murder with the whole note I left on you. You people will pay. I swear on the devil." Then they drew a picture of themselves with said devil. Hale continued to rant about Donald Trump in the writings, writing that they felt this was the opinion of black people. So naturally, Hale tried to adopt those views as well. They wrote, "I hate Donald Trump. I'm sure many brown and black people do. Trump servants and supporters, fuck you all." Hale's hatred of Trump mainly seems to be due to the fact that they find him racist and narcissistic. However, their political opinions were notably shallow, given that Hale had very little knowledge of the outside world beyond their own little bubble, even writing that 9/11 was committed by a group led by a name Asuman Muladin. Hale even compared Trump to Ganondorf from the Legend of Zelda series, coming up short with any other way to imagine him in their mind. Hale began to hate heterosexual people as well, clearly writing such. This was due to the fact that the straight black women they wanted did not want them back. Rather than come to the logical conclusion that these women were simply straight and wouldn't be interested in any woman, Hale took it as a personal insult, adopting a lot of incel rhetoric along the way. They even came to rant about the friend zone. One entry states, "Heterosexuals, I hate you female straight people. You're no fun and no painkillers to my gay pain I hate, but not as much as you. I say I don't hate myself, I hate you." For example, this black bitch that's so exquisitely beautiful but was frozen in disliking that I liked her and she called it weird. You heterosexuals never know what to do. Of course you'll want to friend zone or just ignorantly ignore me like little bitches, witches in disguise. On another page, they continued to rant about this woman in particular, ironically with, "You need serious therapy for how unstable you are."
She need therapy?
Interestingly, Hale began to refer to themselves as asexual, despite all of the talk of being gay and loving women, writing, "A is for Audrey, an asexual individual
They need
fucking
therapy
in the
for
head, but there is a bodysuit that appears
wanting to be
This
normal?
idea of asexuality didn't stick around for very long. Hale started trying out dating apps in hopes of finding black women to no success. Again, they theorized that they would be able to get these women if they were actually a man. If there was some way to become male, they thought that would open the door to get any straight woman that they wanted. They wrote, "I swear to God, straight black bitches are so hard to get. I try this fucking dating app and all I get are country white girls, nerdy white girls, or straight goth dykes, straight men. God damn it, it's because I'm not a straight, sexy black man. Then I'd have all the black women I want." Ramping up in anger against the black women who had rejected them, Hale came to believe that shooting up a majority black school would be appropriate for what they had experienced. Feeling that it would be
Oh, yo. Y'all see how my freaking... Y'all see how my smile disappeared, bro? My smile disappeared quick, bro. Like, what the freak?
a perfect method of
Yo,
revenge.
like...
Quote, "I think of killing people at all those black schools who hate me. I hate bullies of my past. I hate people who are ignorant and stupid, like they just say shit without thought."
Oh,
Hale also came to
Yo,
justify
what
the
the
idea of killing
freak?
children in their own mind and on paper.
You're
They
super
felt the
thug.
kids actually deserved to die, using the Sandy Hook children as a reference. Hale said that every kid at Columbine deserved death, despite the fact that none of the kids killed in that massacre had actually bullied the shooters. Despite being white, praising white killers, and wanting to shoot up a black school, Hale then added, "My race is fucked and was immorally skewed. I guess I could say that I can be treated shitty in exchange for a mess I never created." However, Hale's white guilt really only seemed to cover black people. Hale had no problem with showing hatred towards other groups, writing, "I hate US society, not African or other culture outside the border except you Germans and Muslims. I hate you ugly Indians." It was now March 24th, 2000, Hale's 25th birthday. They wouldn't go about spending it in any meaningful way, though. Instead, they chose to seethe in anger and write about how angry they were at being rejected by women once again. Hale now had the desire to kill the woman who had rejected them as well, reacting about it in their journal and adding her to the hit list. They clearly wrote, "I will kill everything, destroy what you love most. I am blaming you for how my hatred for society came about, because you're just like everyone else. Typical, ungenuine, unkind, unloyal. As for you, you are on the death list. You will die eventually. You're Eve who ate the apple. Sin you are stained with, just like me." In July,
So she's
Hale
sin
began to
when
turn their
not-
attentions to another basketball teammate from middle school to obsess over. This was the woman whose name was Sydney. The obsession started very quickly,
fine.
with Hale writing, "I love you so
Yeah.
deeply, for I don't know how long, a love more than just being in love." Only mere days after ranting in hatred and anger.
Too bad you can't get her. Oh my god.
As with all of the previous love
She want us,
interests,
bro.
Hale
She
would
want
write
us.
dozens and dozens of pages
like a
completely
black
dedicated to
king.
complimenting Sydney and speaking of their supposed love for her. By June of 2020, it seems that Sydney and Hale might have come to hang out a few times. The extent of these hangouts is unknown, but they were likely nothing special, if they occurred at all. In the journal entry talking about it, Hale used a very old picture of the two of them. Even if it did happen, by Hale's own admission, Sydney stopped seeing them. Hale didn't state why this was, instead simply blaming her for abandoning them as they always did. It was in September that Hale stopped taking their medication regularly, if at all, despite their therapist urging them to do so. As you might assume, this only led to their depression worsening by their own admission. On January 28, 2021, Hale started what they would call My Final Journal. It wasn't. One of the first entries was Hale celebrating that Trump was out of office while also expressing hatred for Joe Biden. The only reason they listed for this was that he attacked the NRA. Any prospects of gun control would obviously hurt Hale's chances at ever committing the shooting that they had always fantasized about carrying out. They later went on a long, multi-page rant about gun control. In February of 2021, Hale began to express a real interest in becoming a man. However, they realized that this would be tough without an income. They regretted that college hadn't provided them with a way to live on their own. Hale's feelings of hopelessness about the future, mainly financial security, only served to increase their desire to commit some sort of shooting. Like many others who had gone down the same path, they felt that, if they had no future, they had no reason not to commit an attack. It was around this time that Hale also began to admit to having an unhealthy interest in children, specifically young girls. There were a number of reasons that they were so fixated on the basketball girls from middle school, but they made this reason very clear, writing, "When I look at photos of you as a teenager or preteen, my heart beats loud and my body gets hot. 10 to 11 or 12 years old, you were already looking like a woman." The page then continued along these lines. In this dark obsession, Hale's hatred for white people and obsession with black girls only grew in intensity. By this point, Hale despised their own race, blaming their color for being the reason that they couldn't attract straight women. The rhetoric in their writings no longer left any doubt. One excerpt read, "White people are disgusting, sickening."
Oh God. Look, man, that's part 1, man. Yeah, man, we're gonna do part 2 tomorrow, man. This lady right here is freaking insane. No, this is an hour and 41 video, 41 minutes, you know what I'm saying, honestly. Yo, I don't know what the freak is wrong with her, bro. She got some freaking problems. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? She definitely have some problems, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, yeah, that's bad, bro. It was one of the most sickest videos I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody, man, for joining the video. You know, we gonna have to end it on that note right there, y'all. You know what I mean? That video was definitely crazy. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't know what the freak happened to her. You know what I'm saying? But she is very, oh God. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn the bell like a video, man. I'll tell me how you feel about this in the comment section down below. It's your boy Jay